Hello and welcome to Alive with Amanda. Today, our topic is going to be how to get it all done as a private practice owner. I'm going to also use the term CEO because some of you might also be a CEO of your company. Now, if you're in solo practice, you are the CEO of your company. If you own your practice, right? Like you're theoretically CEO, but some people don't necessarily take on that role unless they're running a group practice or even a large group practice. Like I'm even still a little uncomfortable using the CEO title, even though we have 100 employees and, 10 locations, and I'm even shy. So whether you are a small group practice owner, a large group practice owner, or a solo practice owner, you will be wondering, like, how do people get it done? So I'm going to share how I get it done. And the reality of how I got it done is that I have a lot of help. Okay. And I have a lot of help in my professional life and I have a lot of help in my personal life. And I have a lot of help because you can't do it all, right? Women especially, but I think therapists in general feel like they can do it all, right? We're rescuers by nature, right? Like that's one thing. We are people who want to feel like we can do it all. We've opened up our own practices. We've got we've gone to grad school, which a small percentage of like the population even does. And we've gone out and opened our own business. And if you've scaled your business, right? Like that is so exciting, but you can't do it alone. Okay. So in your business, depending on how big you are, you need things like a biller, an intake coordinator, a clinical director, clinical leads, a CFO, right? Like I have all of these things in place. I have a CCO, a chief clinical officer. I have a senior clinical director. I have a clinical director and I have site leads. I have people who are doing compliance, who are doing hiring. I have a CFO. I have a director of billing, a director of intake. We have intake members. We have billing team members. The one part that I have been remiss to give up is marketing, but I should probably have somebody in that marketing seat. I have an administrative assistant. So in my business, I am really supported. I have a bookkeeper, I have an accountant. So there is a strong team in place for me to be able to scale my business. Even if you are very small, it's really hard to both see clients and answer the phones, see clients and do the billing. You might be able to hit submit, but what if you have claims that you need to call on? You need support. I have had support from the very beginning, and I think that helped me scale and pivot when I needed to. In my personal life, we have people who clean our house. We have a nanny for our baby, right? We're not scared to use babysitters. Could be a family member, could be the local college student who has been willing to come and entertain my children at the very least when I have meetings or a lot of things to do in the afternoon. Everybody's comfort level is going to be different, but I would not be able to do all of the things in the house. Like I can't be my house manager and the CEO of my company, even though I do wear that role of house manager. I manage all the people that help us, but I absolutely have help because I only have 24 hours in the day, just like everybody else has. And I'm not able to be fully present to my children, which that's important for me, especially in the afternoons, when those peak hours, when they're home, when they're playing, they're snacking. I want to be a mom to them. And that is just how we've constructed it. So from the hours of 9 to 2:30, I am like full force in my business. I might pick it up at night, though some of you know that you might get emails from me at off times, and I do work sometimes on the weekends, but 9 to 2:30, I am full force working on my business, working on my personal self so I can be my best self in order to run our practice like at the highest level that it needs to be run. And then I do take that break in the afternoon to be fully present to my children. So if I also had to do things like all of the laundry in the house, I wouldn't be present to our children. And I absolutely recognize that as a luxury, but I really am clear that if I want to perform at this high level at work, right, like running a business, that there are just some things that I'm going to have to let go that I really don't enjoy doing anyways. I mean, I don't know that a lot of people enjoy doing laundry. That's why there's like laundry services and all types of things. But I really don't enjoy doing laundry, for instance. And so if there are things that I do enjoy doing, like I think Dave and I, my husband, sometimes we have a little bit of a bicker because I'm like, just order the groceries. I'm like, let's make it as simple as possible. He actually enjoys going to the grocery store, so he retains some of that. So he goes to the grocery store when he has like some free time, or, maybe a patient cancels and he like runs across the street, picks up groceries and puts them in the fridge and brings them home. And so you don't have to outsource everything. And if you enjoy doing something or something is really important to you, then continue to do it. Just like I kind of enjoy doing the marketing piece. I do like that. So I don't outsource that in my business. I probably should, but I don't. And so if you think about the things that you need to outsource in your business life, in your professional life, to be able to be your optimal self, that's going to really accelerate the business growth that you have. I'm going to give you a tip on how to figure this out. But first, I want to thank our sponsor, TherapyNotes. I find them to be so helpful in running my business at that high level because I can run reports. My clinicians are able to call TherapyNotes. They have fantastic customer service. And so they really make it easy for me to run that high level business. I run reports. I can look at schedules very easily. I can look at credit card batching. I can look at a lot of different things that really help me run the business as a CEO. And again, even if you're a solo practitioner, you need to have your CEO hat on. And so having a platform like TherapyNotes really makes that easy. So thank you to TherapyNotes. So I want you to write down all the things you're doing in your business life, in your professional life, and how much you would pay for those things. And then find out what your hourly rate is and see if those are less than what your hourly rate is. And if you can start to outsource, you might have to increase your income. You might have to pivot the way that you do some things. But if you can let go of tasks, and that will help you make more money in the long run or feel less stressed, right? For me, I don't want to feel overwhelmed. And that's the feeling that I go into when I have way too many things to do. So what will help me feel less overwhelmed? Because when I feel less overwhelmed, guess what? I am like in my zone. I can do amazing things. When I'm overwhelmed, like I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and that's not good for anybody involved in my life. And so if you can pay an administrative assistant $20 an hour to answer your phones, do maybe some light billing, that might be worth it, even if it is 5 hours a week, right? If in your personal life, if you are doing things like laundry, having a housekeeper, again, even if it is a few hours a week, you don't have to think of it in terms of black and white. You can think of it in terms of how can I buy back some of my time? And that is a key principle for high-level entrepreneurs, CEOs, and business owners. So think, how can I buy back my time? Where can I buy back my time? I spent my spring break reading a book about this, listening to podcasts about this, and really decided to rework my whole schedule to buy back my time. So how can you buy back your time? I hope this was helpful. I hope that you go on to buy back your time and feel whatever it is you feel when you have more time in your life. I feel refreshed and calm. I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye.